All right, family, we are here. We are live. Can you please turn it on? You good? All right, we're here. We are live. We are locked and loaded. Just had to get a few technical things in order. If you guys can see me and hear me clearly, do me a favor. Drop a 444 in the chat. See so many of you guys live, locked in, loaded. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, wonderful, wonderful. And that is Spotlight. All right, perfect. What is going on? I am family. I'm so happy and grateful to be here with you guys. I am so happy and grateful to be able to share some amazing value with you as we start off the year 2021, the year that I like to call the year of acceleration. For those who do not know me, my name is Ariel Martin. I'm a Chairman 50 in I Am Mastery Academy, and I'm so proud to be here. First, before we get started, I love to start off everything with a level of gratitude. So I just want to give my support and my gratitude to the support staff. First of all, to the I Am family, Nicole, Kyle Lowe. I want to make sure I don't forget anybody. Brandon Scott. Dawn, even in compliance, right? Without her and her efforts of her team, we wouldn't be able to be an academy and a company that has stood strong for the last 13 years straight. So when I was first presented with the opportunity to host this call, when I was asked, I was extremely honored, humbled, and grateful. So I'm super glad that you guys work eternally all the time to make sure that we have everything that we need to be a billion-dollar company, okay? And also, I would not be able to be where I am right now if it was not for the mentors that have given me the guidance to be able to make it this far. So I have to give a huge thank you to my personal mentor, Mr. Christopher Raxton, who is also a Chairman 50, Chairman 100 is just around the corner inside of I Am Mastery Academy. I have to give a huge thank you to my other mentors, the Thompson brothers, Brandon and Bryce, Reynaldo Perez, as well as my coach and mentor, Mr. David Emanite, Chairman 750 himself, right? So I want you guys to always remember, you all, you guys would not be anywhere if it was not for the people that were around you, that were supporting you, that were guiding you, right? Even if the person who got you started in this opportunity and in this business isn't technically in the business anymore, if they had not presented it to you, you wouldn't even have the opportunity to have so much information, so much value being poured into you over and over and over again. So no matter where you stand with the people that have gotten you started in this business, always show a level of gratitude, because we know that it's not necessarily just about what you know, but who you know. And because you were in that divine position to be placed in front of somebody at the right place, at the right time, you now are able to walk into your year of acceleration. So I have to give a huge shout out and thank you to all of those individuals. All right. I also want to make sure that you all know that without any successors, there's no such thing as success. As you guys move forward in your business, you do not truly have success if you no longer have any successors, because that means that success stops with you. So if you don't translate and if you don't provide the value over to other individuals, you do not have any success. You simply just have a little bit of things, right? You have some materials, but you don't truly have any success until you have a legacy, until you have individuals to pass that along. So to the individuals that are in my business that have reached the level of chairman, platinum 5,000, those upper level leaders, I salute you. I thank you for everything that you're doing to charge the mission forth, to charge the vision forth, to continue to keep this company a billion-dollar company, to continue to grow it forward, to continue to accelerate it as we move forth in acceleration, right? So what I wanted to do today, I just wanted to talk to you guys about a few things that are going to place us in a position in order to be in that level of acceleration, right? There are a few keys and a few tools that I want to talk to you guys about for the next few minutes or so that we can really start our company off. We can really start our businesses off, really start our legacies off, so that we can truly walk into the year of acceleration. The year 2021 is just starting and it's already heating up. And I wanted to provide you guys some necessary tools that I believe that have really helped me to understand how to take our businesses, how to take my personal business to the next level, and how you can duplicate and do the same exact thing. All right, so there are 3 tools that I'm going to provide for you guys. I like to break things down note style, because I understand that it's not just that note takers are money makers. I like to say it all the time. The appliers are the ones that get their desires. Because people will come into the business, people will come into certain rooms, and they'll have their notebooks, they'll have their notepads, and then they write all these notes down, and then they put them to the side, and then they wonder why they don't necessarily get the things that they want. So note takers aren't the ones that are simply just the money makers. Understand that those that make the money also take the notes as well. But those that actually apply are the ones that get what they desire. So remember, appliers are desires, okay? So I'm gonna give you guys some tools that are gonna allow you guys to apply them to your real life, apply them to your businesses, apply them to every single aspect of everything that you have going on. And that way you'll be able to duplicate the same success, if not surpass this, which is what exactly it is that we want us to do. All right, so tool number one, that is the tool of submission, right? A lot of women, we can relate to this, and sometimes we can't always relate to it. It might be something that we struggle with a little bit. This is the tool of submission. And we want to have something that we submit to. A lot of times people wonder why it's so hard to submit is because we don't have anything, or we don't have a person to necessarily submit to. I know my women know exactly what that means sometimes. Sometimes, why is it so hard to submit? You want to make sure that you have something to actually submit to. But this isn't something that just applies to women, ladies and gentlemen. I want you guys to understand that this is something that applies to all humans, all mankind. See, because I'm the type of person that likes to break things down. What does that really mean to submit? When I am submissive to something, that means that I am coming under a mission, right? If I literally break down the word submission, right? As a matter of fact, let me break this down for you guys, because I like to make things very, very visual for people to be able to understand. I'm not the type of person that's just going to talk about certain things. I want to make sure that you understand to a T. Okay, so I'm going to write the word down, submission. Okay, hopefully everybody can see that. It's a little thin, right? Submission. If I break these two down, what do I have here, right? We have the root, which is the mission. So that means what I am doing is I am coming underneath the mission when I am submitting to something. Okay, so that means that I have to understand, what is the mission to begin with? Everybody knows, and if you do not know, you are now under the sound of my voice, so you understand that the mission that we have for this company is for 1 million customers in 2021. The year of acceleration. We have a mission to obtain and grow, to enrich and to empower and to educate 1 million customers within I Am Mastery Academy, right? That means that by doing this, that means that we will also enrich and educate and empower 1,000 chairmen. There are thousands of individuals on this call right now. Do you think that you're going to be one of those chairmen? We have a vision and we have a mission to enrich, to educate, and to empower 1,000 chairmen. So if I understand that that is the mission and that is the vision that I have forth for this company, then that means that I have to figure out a way to come under it so that I can help to fulfill that, right? But this is what happens. If you do not understand what the vision is, then it's hard for me to go forth with the mission. What does that mean? If I'm given an assignment, right? If I'm given a mission and I have no guidance, if I have no vision, if I have nothing to look forward to, if I have nothing to relate my information to, then it's going to be very, very difficult for me to see. See, anybody who's in the military, anything like that, a lot of times they're given missions to uphold, missions to accomplish. But what happens if they have no goggles, they have no roadmap, they have no information, and they have no idea how I'm supposed to see the things that are going forth? See, that's why it's so important for us as leaders and us that are looking to become leaders to have visions for our organizations. We have to submit to these visions that our leaders are putting forth, because we understand that at the end of the day, this is the mission of I Am Mastery Academy. It's not the mission that I'm trying to implement just on my own. This is not the Ariel Martin mission. This is not the Christopher Raxton mission. This is the I Am Academy mission. And we have to understand that we have visions, and these were visions that were imparted onto us so that we can continue to enrich, empower, and educate the mission that I Am Mastery Academy has put forth. So a lot of times people will come into these businesses and they would say, well, I want to do this my way, or I want to do this way. It's not necessarily about doing it your way. It's about doing it the way that works, the way that makes sense, the way that is enriching, empowering, educating the overall mission that we have in I Am Mastery Academy. See, because when you do this, what that happens is when you start to do things your way, now you are diverting from the mission. You are diverting from the vision. And what happens when you divert from the vision? Now you have caused division. You've caused division in your business. And how many know that I talk about it all the time? 2 are better than 1, right? 3 is much better than that 1, right? When you have a cord of 3 strands, it's not easily broken. So when I come into the business, when an individual gets me started in this business, the first thing that I should be asking them is not necessarily, what can I do for you? Or what can you do for me? How can you make me money? How can you make me rich? More so, how can I serve the mission of this company? See, because I understand that it's a lot more blessed to give than to receive. So when I'm pouring, serving, giving, I understand that more will be provided back to me, pressed down, shaken together, running over, and given to me 10, 20, 100-fold. So if I understand what the vision is, I will never have any reason to cause any division in any family that I'm a part of, any organization that I'm a part of. I don't find myself back talking or reverting or rebutting anything that my mentors are saying, because I'm like, wait a minute, this is the mission to grow the business and grow the company by 1 million customers. So you mean if in order to do that, I can talk about this business, I don't necessarily have to use the excuse that I'm shy and I don't want people in my business? Well, if you don't want people in your business, that means that you don't want people in the business. Because one thing that you guys have to understand, especially when it comes to submission, is that people don't necessarily join I Am Mastery Academy. They join you. What are you presenting forth that allows people and makes people to want to get started in this business? There's a reason why there are multiple organizations that are booming, that are doing so well. We all have the same products. We all have the same resources. We all have access to literally the best, I like to call it the Harvards or the Rosetta Stone of the foreign exchange, cryptocurrency, and e-commerce market. So why is it that some individuals do better than others when it comes to building this business? Well, we're a lot more submissive to what the organization has already put forth. See, when Christopher Terry had that vision to move forth with 1 million customers, 1,000 chairmen, guess what? Some of us, we fell into line. We said, I'm submitting to it. Forget what my notions are. Forget what I want to accomplish. Forget what I want to do. I understand that submitting to the overall vision and the overall strength and resources that are being provided within I Am Mastery Academy, that's going to get me the life that I desire. So we want to make sure that we are constantly moving forth together in unity. See, because like I said before, when you separate and when you like to go and do things on your own, now you are causing the vision to die. That's where you get that division. And nothing ever grows from a place where there is no life. Okay, so let's make sure that we are submitting to the overall mission and figuring out, hey, mentor, hey, coach, hey, Platinum 5,000 upline, hey, Chairman 10 upline, hey, Chairman 100 upline. Can you explain to me what the mission is? And can you explain to me how I can be a powerhouse, a soldier in this I Am Mastery Academy army? Because if I understand that it's going to a mission and we have a mission for 1,000 chairmen and 1 million customers, guess what? I want them to come to my business because I understand they don't necessarily just join the business, but they join me. So how can we move forward together in unity, in unison, to submit to the overall vision and the mission that we have with this company? All right. So once we understand that we're starting to make those submissions, now we have to move over to a little thing I like to call sacrifice. See, sacrifice, I looked up the definition, and it essentially just means giving up something for the betterment of another. Okay. So what acts am I creating? What acts am I giving up? What notions am I giving up? What feelings am I giving up in order to sacrifice in this business? See, this is where obsession really comes into play. And the reason why you see people become 6, 7, 8-figure earners, not to give any income claims, but the reason why you see people have huge amounts of success in this business is because they are truly obsessed with this business. See, there is no plan B for a lot of us. This is the plan B that we have is simply just to make plan A work. We're willing, and we know for a fact, we have such unwavering faith and belief that this is going to work, that I'm willing to sacrifice everything and anything in order to make this work. A lot of times people come to me and ask, well, how do you feel about starting other businesses? And how do you feel about doing this? And how do you feel about doing that? I'm not necessarily against it, but I understand that a jack of all trades is really a master of none. If I've got my hands in so many different pots, how do I have a handle on what it is that's right in front of me? See, because I can't necessarily break my focus. If you guys really want to know this is how lion tamers actually really work, right? This is just a little bit off topic, but just follow me. If you ever wanted to know how lion tamers are actually able to tame these lions and walk into and just literally get them to do whatever they want, we know how lions are. They're kings of the jungle, queens of the jungle. They could attack us. They could really take us out. They could kill us. But how is it that people are lion tamers and they're able to tame the lion and get them to what it is that they want to do? They take a stool, right? They take a stool, and that stool has 4 points to it. And what happens is they get the lion so distracted, so all over the place that they're not focused on the fact that they are now being trained and tamed to do whatever it is that they want to do. They're not focused on one pivotal area. They're not looking at one specific thing. Their eyes are so distracted. Their mind is so distracted by everything that is going on that they have no reason to actually focus on one pivotal thing, which is to actually be a lion. So now when the lion tamers are getting them to do whatever it is that they want, they break their focus. They've given them a distraction. And what happens is a lot of times people come into these businesses looking to do 17 different things, this, that, and that. Multiple things, many times of which don't even mix together. And they're wondering why they can't get success in one business because they have broken their focus. They're completely distracted. They've lacked that obsession. They're not willing to give up 5 figures in order to make 6 or 7. And they wonder why they don't necessarily have the results is because they are literally trying to be jacks of all trades, not realizing that they can actually be that master of just one. See, a lot of times people feel like multiple streams have to come from multiple different industries. Multiple streams of income, understand the way that streams work. Streams flow from an ocean. Streams flow from rivers. If I have one massive river, which is the massive success that I Am Mastery Academy has already provided to me, how can I not knit and pick all these different streams of income? How can I not get these different things? See, you're so focused on the stream that you're forgetting about the ocean in which the source is from in the beginning. You're forgetting about where that actual source comes from. So I'm willing to sacrifice whatever it takes to get to the ocean. If I have to temporarily sacrifice one small little stream in order to get to the ocean, that's something that I'm willing to do. Why? Because when I get to that ocean, I look around and I can see, oh my gosh, all these streams have just opened up for me. I'm not trying to just focus on one stream. I've got an ocean in front of me. It's success that overflows. Oh my goodness, what is right in front of me? And it's not just about giving up jobs. It's not just about giving up businesses. It's about giving up some of that time. See, a lot of times people tell me, oh my gosh, I need to work on my time management. I don't have enough time in a day. Management happens when you try and control something. Every single one of us have 24 hours in the day. I'm not trying to control anything because I understand that that 24 hours is going to come and it's going to go, just like it's going to come and it's going to go for my Chairman 750 mentors. So if they can use that same 24 hours, guess what? I can use it to go even harder to get to the position that I want to be in, which is where they are. Right? So I'm not necessarily trying to manage my time. Now I'm trying to make better choices with my time. So instead of asking yourself, how do I have better time management? We want to start asking ourselves, how can I make that sacrifice to have better time choices? It's about the choices that I make with the same amount of time that I'm given, just as everybody else, right? And we also have to understand that it's about the progress that we're making along the way. Us as women especially, we want everything to be so perfect. We nitpick and nitpick and nitpick. Until the point where you realize and you look up and you saw somebody took that same idea and they ran with it. They made a multi-6-figure business out of that same idea that you were trying to perfect. You wanted everything to be so perfect that you got so caught up in that you made no progress at all. And you're wondering why people have the same results that it is that you desire. And you're like, wait a minute, how did that? No, they're not even that good at it. They're not even that. They executed. It's simply just about the progress, not necessarily the perfection. There have been many businesses that I have started that I was like, you know what? We just gonna figure this out as we go. And do you know how much information I have learned from simply just starting? Do you know that there is power in the doing? There is power in the execution, right? Somebody even said in the chat, I say it all the time, perfection is simply just a glorified version of procrastination. I want to wait until it's perfect. See, I'm going to do it until it becomes perfect. So we have to understand that there's a level of sacrifice and obsession that we have to make, even if that's sacrificing time. Usually the same amount of time that we were going to spend on Netflix, the same amount of time that we were going to spend on Instagram, The same amount of time that we spent making TikToks could have been the same amount of time that you spent on the phone building your craft. The same amount of time that you could have spent studying the individuals that have the success that you desire. In the information age, there's absolutely no reason why we can't necessarily make better choices with our time, and then we wouldn't have to worry about actually trying to manage it. You don't have to control anything that you have a choice in which to make better, okay? So we have to understand that sacrifice is about sacrificing who you currently are in order to become who you want to be. See, because where I am right now is not gonna take me to a 7-figure business. Right? Where I am right now is not going to take me to a 6-figure business. Where I am right now is not going to take me to an 8-figure earner. And if it happens, guess what? I wouldn't be ready for it, so I would squander it. It's not always just about getting certain things. It's about getting things and making sure that you're ready to obtain and retain them. A lot of times people get so caught up in, I want to get this and I want to get that. And I'm sacrificing, I'm obsessing because I want this, I want that, and I want the third, but you're not even prepared for it. You're not even prepared for what it is that you're praying for because you have not made enough sacrifices in order to understand what it's really like to experience those certain things. So we have to make sure that we are becoming obsessed with what it is, as well as the information and the responsibilities that go along with it. So many of us say, oh my God, I want to build this business and I want to hit these ranks, but you're not even prepared for the responsibilities that go along with it. You don't even respect the responsibilities that come along with becoming a chairman. And yet you want to sit there and say, oh, I deserve to go chairman. Oh my God, I'm going chairman. Let's do a chairman screen. But you don't even respect what comes along with becoming a chairman. You don't respect the sacrifice. You don't respect the grind. I have given up businesses that I thought I was so passionate about because I said, you know what? That is taking time away from the family that I need to feed. That is taking time away from the fact that I need to spend time crafting my business. That is taking time away from the solitude that I need to sit in and actually understand what is going on. How do I develop myself as a person so that I can be in the position to actually effectively lead these individuals? See, we sit up there and we ask for certain things, but then when it comes to us in packages that I didn't necessarily want, then I feel like I don't want it. I don't regret a single thing that I've given up. I don't regret a single thing that was ever taken from me. Do you know that when I was fired from my job, I shouldn't even say this. When I was fired from my job, I started laughing. I couldn't even get upset. I started laughing when they called me on my day off. Like, how ghetto? When they called me on my day off and fired me. Do you know why? This was before I even started this business. This is before I started this business. And that's how I know that things always operate in divine order. And you're wondering why things are happening to you instead of asking yourself, why not me? Because I understand that I am literally fired up, that I am literally the person that it is meant for this to happen, right? I'm literally the person that's going to break those generational cycles in my business. So, oh my God, thank you for choosing me. See, so when that happened, I cracked up. I literally was cracking up when I got fired from my job because I was like, I didn't want to be there anyways. I did not like that job. And I had a plan literally to quit. It's so funny the way that the Lord worked. I had a plan to quit in April. I was fired December of 2017. I had a plan to quit April of 2018. Do you know that I got started in this business was it April or was it May? It was April of 2018 when I started in this business. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Do you think that a lot of times we feel like, oh my God, I'm being rejected? You're being redirected to where it is that you're supposed to go. And see, when things are thrown at you and you don't necessarily get them, when things are thrown at you and they're telling you that you need to sacrifice this and you need to sacrifice that, guess what? When it's thrown at you like a pebble, guess what? And you don't pay attention to it. All right, cool. You didn't get it when I tossed it to you like a pebble? Cool. Guess what? It'll be thrown again at you like a brick. That same test that you kept failing over and over again. Because we want to get to the testimony part. We want to get to the testimony part, but guess what? Until you really understand it and pass the test, it won't happen. So guess what? It's thrown to you like a brick. You don't get it when it's thrown to you like a brick. Guess what? Those same tests will be given back to you like a brick wall. And you're wondering why you keep smacking that same brick wall. Why you keep running into those same instances over and over again, why the same things keep happening, why you still seem to get to the same place over and over and over again and knocked back because you're literally not passing the same test that you were supposed to get so that you become a literal witness to the testimony that you were supposed to receive in the first place. But it starts with that sacrifice and that obsession. We ask for more success in life, but then all of a sudden we don't necessarily want to step up to host the trainings. We ask for more success in life, but we don't want to pick up the phone more. We ask for more success in life, but we still want to see what's the hottest new shows on Netflix. Ain't no new shows coming out. They can't record nothing due to COVID. We ask for new successes in our business, but then we don't necessarily want to post more. We don't want to post differently. We don't want to act any differently than we were at Platinum 150 than we are right now at Platinum 1000. We still think that we're going to get the same amount of successes by doing the same amount of things. 2021 is here. Guess what? That means that all your successes in 2020, they have all restarted. So what you did in 2020, I gave you your claps back then. But see, now we're here. What legacy are you going to create here? You can't talk to me about what you did in 2017. You can't talk to me about what you did in 2018, because there's somebody out there that is hungrier, that is starving, that is more apt to necessarily immerse themselves in the business, immerse themselves to the obsession and the sacrifice, and they're here to blow you out of the water. You can't tell me about what you did. Are you obsessing the same way that you were before? Do you still have that same fervent fire? Do you still have that same desire inside of you to truly win no matter what it takes? You have to become obsessed with the sacrifice. But honestly, let's talk about it. In the words of the late, great Kobe Bryant, if it feels like a sacrifice, it's probably not really meant for you. If it feels like a sacrifice, it's probably not really what you were supposed to be doing in the first place. See, because giving up Netflix in order to make 6-7 figures, giving it up for a couple months to make 6-7 figures, that doesn't sound too much like a sacrifice. Giving up making excuses so that I can actually start executing doesn't sound too bad. Giving up hanging around with 4-figure friends in order to meet 7-figure mentors this don't really sound like a sacrifice too much at all. Oh, okay. Shout out to Kobe. Late, great Kobe Bryant, right? So if what we're giving up doesn't necessarily feel like a sacrifice, probably not what we're supposed to be giving up anyways, right? Next, I'm moving, I'm grooving. I don't want to take too much of y'all time. It's Sunday, right? I know we're doing our vision board. We're talking about our acceleration, but I had to make sure that I gave this information to y'all, right? The next tool number three, just to give you guys a quick recap, right? Tool number 1, what is it? Let's see. Who's actually taking the notes and actually making sure that they apply it? What's tool number 1? Beautiful. I love this class. I love when you guys are tuned in with me. I love when I make sure that you guys make that connection to understand. All right, good. Don't type it too much, because then that's going to take away from the notes that you need to do. Submission. That means that we are submitting to the mission. Tool number 2 is sacrifice. Look, I didn't even have to ask you. Look, y'all know y'all on it. Y'all are going chairman this year, right? You didn't have to ask for it until you're already stepping up to give the information to other people that may not necessarily have received it in the first place. All right. Tool number 3, we're moving on to tool number 3. No more dropping anything, because I want to make sure that you guys are taking the notes and you guys are actually receiving the information the way that you're meant to receive it. Tool number 3 is tapping into the supernatural. Now, I don't know who necessarily you believe in, what you believe in, what higher power, but there is a literal unwavering faith. There is an intangible aspect that you must have in this business in order to receive and achieve massive success. See, because you have to believe in something other than yourself alone. There has to be something higher than yourself. It's what keeps you going. It's what keeps your drive. It's what provides you that strength when you feel like you don't have any anymore. We talked about vision, and it's important to believe in something supernatural, because a lot of times we talk about the vision, but all we have ourselves is sight. All we see is what's in the back office. All we see is a red screen on MetaTrader 4. Look, you should have been buying Bitcoin. Shout out to Swipecoin. Okay. All we see is our bills that are piling up over and over and over again. All we see is our bank account, and it doesn't have the commas in it that we've been praying for over and over and over again. That's all we see. But when we believe in something that is higher than ourselves, we realize that that's what's going to provide us the strength to continue on. See, that was what kept me going when those bills are piling up higher and higher and higher. When I felt like nobody had my back except for myself. When I felt like my back was actually against the wall, I realized, and I had unwavering faith, I wouldn't be put in this position if I wasn't ready to handle it. I wouldn't be put in this position if there wasn't something for me to learn from it. I wouldn't be put in this position so that I could really understand what it's like, so that when I have somebody else that's going through the same information, when somebody else is going through the same situation, I can empathize with them and I can let them know this is exactly how I got out of it. So wait a minute, I can't just rely on my own strength. I have to call on something other than just myself, right? I have to call on something other than just myself. And I have to realize that there is something out there other than just myself that is going to get me through to the next level. See, I just saw Wonder Woman the other day, and I'm not going to spoil the ending. I'm not going to spoil the movie or anything like that. But there comes a time in the movie, just like with every other superhero movie, where the superhero, who was Wonder Woman, she got weak. That happens in every movie. So I'm not spoiling anything. If you have ever seen a comic book, a Marvel movie, anything, right? She gets weak, but she realizes she cannot rely on her own strength. There is a higher power. It's what she actually believes in, and that's what provides her the strength to get stronger, to defeat the enemy the same way like they do in every single movie. I'm not going to tell y'all who the villain is. I'll let y'all find out. Not what y'all thought, actually, okay? But she has something that comes from within her that she realizes, wait a minute, this is not my strength alone. I have to believe in something that is higher in order to get to higher places. A lot of us like to call that faith. See, because faith is when you believe in certain things that you can't necessarily see. When you believe in things, even though what you see doesn't make sense. Even when you see, okay, wait a minute, I'm this close. I'm right on the brink of eviction. How is it that I'm going to claim that this is my 6-figure year? I feel like my whole entire business has just crumbled. How is it that I'm going chairman this year? There's no possible way. Well, of course, on your own strength, there's not. But when you understand and you have that unwavering, undeniable belief, guess what? There is. See, because all things that are possible to them that believe. There's a reason I could go on and on and on. I can do all things that strengthen me, right? I have that unwavering belief. That sight that we have, that's simply just our own strength. That's what I can see off of myself. That's why a lot of times we tell people, don't take the advice of yourself. If you've never been anywhere, how are you going to take the advice of your own self? How am I going to take the advice of myself if I've never gone chairman on how to go chairman? See, because sometimes what will happen is God will literally place people that have the results that we desire directly in front of us, because he knows that our strength isn't that strong. Our faith, all he asks for is a mustard seed, but maybe we don't even have that. We don't even have a mustard seed. We don't even have a speck. We don't even have a dash. So sometimes he has to place certain people that are right in front of us to speak to what we feel like is directly to us, because he understands that he's trying to speak through them to us so that we can see what's really possible. See, those same individuals where you're sitting up there looking like, well, I messed up a year ago. I messed up 2 years ago. We've all messed up. We've all fallen short and we've all risen. It's not necessarily about you fall, but it's the way that you get up and the way that you move forward. We have to make sure that we are not being so afraid of the mistakes that we have made that we're afraid to even ask for more. See, the reason why a lot of people don't even ask for more is because they don't even believe that they deserve more. We say you have not because you ask not. I believe you don't even ask because you don't think you can get it. There's certain things that I knew not to ask my parents for growing up. I just knew. I know not to ask my mama for that brand new car. I can ask her for a car, but don't ask her for the brand new expensive one. You know you're not getting that. You know you're not. So what am I going to ask for it for? There were certain things that I'm like, okay, now that I could probably get away with that. You knew not to ask your mom to go out with certain friends at a certain time because you just know. But you can ask her to go to the basketball game, right? But there are certain things that we didn't necessarily ask for in the first place because we knew that we were not going to get them to begin with. See, I tell people all the time that closed mouths, they don't get fed. This belly over here is starving. I'm hungry for the success. So you better believe I'm asking for everything and I'm going for it. See, because when I ask for it, I'm not necessarily going to ask for it and be like, well, I want it to come this way. If somebody were to give me $100 million, I wouldn't say, do you mind breaking it down into hundreds for me, please? Do you mind actually just wire transferring it? Because I don't really feel like going to the bank. That's kind of a lot. $100 million is $100 million, Pooh. We have not because we ask not, and then we still don't get it because we want to tell God how to bless us with it. You say that you want to go chairman, but you just want somebody to come into your business and enroll all the people. You say that you want to go chairman, but you want your upline, you want your mentor, you want your coach to place some superstar inside of your business. You say that you want to go chairman, but you don't necessarily want to learn how to run a basics call so that you can at least get sure that people are properly educated enriched, empowered, and educated, right? That's the mission. So we're asking for these things and we don't even have the mission. We don't even have the vision. We don't even submit to the mission that there is overall. How? How? People tell me, oh my gosh, I'm afraid of failure. I'm afraid of failure. But a lot of times people aren't afraid of failure. They're really afraid of success. See, because when success comes to you the right way, emphasis on the right way, not in a way that comes from taking from another individual, not in a way that goes against the integrity of this business, not in a way that goes against anything, any rules that we have set up. See, when success comes to you the right way, now you're responsible for it. We ask for that success, but we're really afraid of it because now I'm responsible for everything that happens in my business. I take accountability and responsibility for everything that happens in my business, good, bad, ugly, and different. And that's not a level that a lot of us are ready for. So when you're asking yourself, when you're asking, not even yourself, when you're asking and you're praying to that supernatural, to that higher being, I want you to add this to your prayers. I want you to ask also, prepare me for what I'm praying for. Don't just give it to me. See, because if you give it to me and I don't know how to handle it, I'm going to lose it. And that's far more detrimental than giving somebody something as opposed and having them lose it, as opposed to giving it to them in the first place. Not giving it to them in the first place. My apologies. When you are praying for these things, when you are working for these things, when you are wishing for these things, ask so that I can be prepared. See, a lot of times, us as women, we sit up there, oh my gosh, goals, y'all are a couple goals. I love this, I love that, I wish. Oh my God, meanwhile, I'm over here single, blah, blah, blah. Why don't you ask yourself to be prepared to be that wife for that person that comes in? See, it says it all the time. I got to break it down to the practical so we really understand. Do you know that it says he that finds a wife finds a good thing? Do you know that that means that you already have to be a wife in order for him to find you? You wonder why you're not necessarily being approached by certain people because there's still work that you got to do because you still got to be that wife first so that he can actually find you, the right one, right? Ask yourself, am I actually prepared for what it is that I'm reaching for? Am I actually prepared for what it is that I say that I want? See, a lot of us say, oh my gosh, I want to go chairman. Oh my gosh, I want to have 6-figure trades. But you don't even know how to manage $1,000 account. You don't even know, you keep blowing that same $100 account every week. This gonna be the week. This gonna be the week. I'm gonna turn $100 into 5,000. I promise you, watch me, no cap. That's how I get on Instagram. Just watch this, the $100 to $5,000 challenge this week. Knowing you don't even know how to use proper risk management. Why? Because you weren't on the call that your chairman was hosting that was actually trying to enrich and educate and empower you to learn how to properly manage the risk that you have. To make sure that you were prepared on how to handle that $100 account so that you can slowly transition into the $1,000 account so that you can actually become that 6-figure earner. See, a lot of us, if we were given what it is that we're really praying for, we would blow it. We would squander it. We would lose it. So when you guys are praying for certain things, you have to make sure that you're asking to prepare, be prepared for what it is that you're praying for. See, the difference between those people that have and have not only have they prepared for it, they've asked for it. They've asked for those things that they wanted. Then they went out and they prepared for it. See, it talks about all the time in the Bible. It says, study to show yourself approved. Study to show yourself approved. Mentors aren't just picking out mentees. A lot of times the mentee, I don't even like to use that term because sometimes it can sound a little degrading, but for the purpose of what I'm talking about, please just follow me. So I don't mean any disrespect towards anybody. But a lot of times mentees are really found by mentors when they find them working. When they find them working, we study to show ourselves approved. The individuals that I work the most closely with, they've studied to show themselves approved. So they understand that this is a mutually beneficial relationship that we have here. You're not just looking to take from me. You're looking to give so that we can both enrich, empower, and educate together. That's what separates the haves from the have-nots. So you wonder why you don't have? Ask what you gave in the first place. Ask what you prepared for. Ask what you sacrificed. Ask what you submitted to. Ask what higher power that you're actually believing in so that you know that you are worthy to receive the same information that everybody else does, the same 750 information, the same 7-figure conversations, those 8-figure conversations. Not necessarily blaming your mentor. Or my mentor doesn't have time for me, so I can't do it. My mentor didn't answer the phone. Probably because they know every time you call them, you want to sit up there and cry about what's not happening. Anybody knows it. Every time you call me, you could talk to me about the problem the first time. The next time I want to hear about the solution. You can call me crying the first time. Do you want to vent or do you want me to give you solutions? Do you actually want to change the situation? Or do you want to just sit up there and cry about the same things over and over and over again? See, because I'm not crying about the sacrifices. I'm not crying about the process. I understand that that process is helping me progress so that I can get to what I like to call perfection. Realizing that as soon as I get to what I thought was perfection, it's simply just a level of progress for somebody else. See, because what I thought was something that's going to help me out, somebody else sees that as minuscule. And guess what? I want to get to those conversations to where, you know what? I'm surrounded by so much greatness that I don't even feel like I've done it for real. That's the place that you want to get to. I'm striving to progress every single day. I'm looking to figure out how can I accelerate every single day? How can I submit to the mission of 1,000 chairmen? How can I submit to the vision of 1 million customers? What can I do on my end? How can I serve? How can I sacrifice to make sure that I am enriching, empowering, educating every single day of my life? And what is that going to look like when I get to that? See, for about 30 more seconds, I just want you guys to do me a favor. If you're driving, please do not participate in this activity. Please, safety first. For about 30 seconds, I just want you to close your eyes. I want you to close your eyes and envision what that looks like. What does that feel like? What does that sound like when you are enriching, empowering, educating 1 million customers? When you have individuals that are screaming your name on stage because of the impact that you have had on them? When you are literally sitting up there providing blank checks to your family and saying, whatever it is that you need, I've got you. What does that feel like to literally show up and pop up on your family unannounced, being able to just walk away from certain things because you don't necessarily have to put in that time off? Nobody is dictating you. Nobody is clocking you in. Nobody's telling you when to clock out. Nobody's telling you where to go and where to do. What does that feel like? What does that smell like? To walk into a clean house that is literally cleaned up by housekeepers because you don't have to worry about anybody sitting up there telling you that what you have is not good enough. What does that taste like to be able to walk into a restaurant and order anything off the menu? What does that feel like to literally order whatever it is that you want and not have to subject it to just an appetizer because that's all you can afford? What does that sound like when you've got that engine in your brand new car, when it's purring, right? That's what the engine sounds like when it's purr, not when it's about to putt-putt, right? What does that taste like? What does that sound like? What does that smell like? What does it feel like when you plop down on your couch in your brand new home? Because you submitted to the vision. You sacrificed for the vision. And you believed in something so supernatural that you understood that this is the only thing that's going to work. I want you guys to really, really think about that as you guys are moving forward. I want you guys to really understand. I want you guys to really visualize what that is like. And that feeling that you have, hold on to that when things get difficult, when things get tough. See, because those things, that's what's going to keep you moving forward. That's what's going to allow you, wait a minute, that feeling that I had, that thing, those things that I visualized, those mental fortitudes, those mental pictures that I put in my head, I can charge past anything. I can make it past a slight little pullback in my business. Guess what? That means nothing. I lost a couple people. Imagine what it's like when I have thousands and thousands of individuals in my business. Losing 2 or 3 is not going to kill me. When you have thousands in your business, when you have hundreds of thousands of people in the business of I Am Mastery Academy and your name is on that back office, when you're able to educate, to enrich, and to empower 1 million customers across the globe, hold on to that feeling. Hold on to that level of acceleration that you were looking to put it into gear right now. Understand that we have those things, that we now have those tools for success. And it's not just about putting them in our toolbox. It's about actually taking them out and actually applying them so that we can get every single thing that we want out of I Am Mastery Academy. Once again, for those individuals who do not know me, my name is Ariel Martin. It has been an honor. It has been a pleasure. It has been a privilege to be able to serve you all in this capacity. I thank you so, so much for your time. I will see every single one of you guys at the top. There is no bottom, so we won't even have to worry about the crowds right now. Be safe, be warm, say thank you to your mentors, show gratitude each and every single day. I will see each and every single one of you guys at the top. Love y'all.